Nation, what is good? DailyXander 287 here at the pool. It's been a while since I've gone swimming. Don't really have that much time. I have about 15 minutes to give into my swimming workout. There's the pool. Hasn't changed at all since I was last here, but I've changed. I'm just gonna do a little working on treading water, then doing some laps, and then those bars over there, and do a form of some body weight exercise for core. So tag along, follow along, and enjoy. What is good, Z Nation? Just about finished with my lunch break. Biking back right now from the park, being San Lato Park near the softball complex.
And that's just a quick little body weight movement where I think they're called gorilla. I mean, I can call them whatever, but I know some people in the past that have done it call them gorilla hops. Kind of involves you putting your hands to your side when you're leaning over and you're hopping. It's like basically doing a lateral hop, but you're going off your hands instead of your feet. That was part of one of the movements I did. During my lunch break, I had lunch, of course. Didn't get to finish it all. It's in my backpack right now. I also spent time listening to the audios that I've gone so far along with mentorship that I'm in. And I want to say I've listened to all 9 of them so far. They range from like 30 minutes to an hour and 10 minutes or so long. I want to say I've listened to all 9 of them since Tuesday. And now I'm just recycling them over again. And I'll have to include a little summary to my mentor every day, like I mentioned yesterday, for 30 straight days. So this is day number 2. I have 2 hours left I have two client hour training sessions left with the same client. So I'm training a guy in a wheelchair. I shouldn't say that. He's a spinal cord injury for 2 hours. And then it'll be on to the next thing for the day, which will be finishing up some tasks that I need to get done, and then having a meeting with my mentor, and then float tank session tonight. Yes sirree, Bob. Number 18, I believe. 3 more left, and then I'm gonna put a pause on my membership just to save some money for some future expenses coming up, being, oh goodness, crossing. Future expenses being music festival coming up in September, and business conference, and also saving up for going back to England to live there for a couple weeks before I get shipped off somewhere in the world and become that particular area of the world's problem in a good way, of course. All right, so here is work coming up on entrance sign right there, Center of Recovery and Exercise. Hopefully you can see that. And it's another beautiful shiny day in Altamont Springs. Everybody that works here has a car except me. I am the Lone Ranger riding the bike, and I certainly love doing so. A lot of benefits come from that. All right, I will hit up with you guys later on, so stay tuned as I am putting my bike away. Peace.
Yo, just got done with my meeting with my mentor, Desmond, at Starbucks. Just doing a little budgeting thing. Went good, and right now I'm about to do a float, so I'll check in with you a little soon. All right, we're back at it. DailyXander in Total Zen floats. About to get my 18th float on in the Oasis tank. Done a tremendous amount of floats in this tank now, and certainly enjoy it. And as always, never have any expectations. I'm interested in you today, where right when I get nice and relaxed, I'm just going to focus on what I'm grateful for the day and see where it takes me. So I'll check in with you on the other side of the float. Let's go. Oh, yo, just woke up or risen from my float, and oh man, right when I started speaking, I got Epsom salt in my eyes. I'm gonna shower off real quick, but wow, really positive float experience. Gratefulness, really most interesting effect as far as keeping me up and not fall asleep right away. Saw a really interesting visual that certainly gonna be hard to describe, but I will try here momentarily. So I'm gonna talk again coming up after I clean myself off, because I am a floating mess right now in the sense of my eyes are irritated from Epsom salt. So that's over there. So after the shower, talk's going down. Peace. All right, just here at the gas station, waiting for my Uber, and just want to share a little thoughts on what I had from my float. Probably the first 10-15 minutes, I stayed conscious, thinking about everything I'm grateful for, and this tied into mainly just things throughout the day that make me really appreciate what I have, such as you riding on my bike throughout the day and not crashing, having the opportunity to spend almost about 20 to 30 minutes outside sunbathing, getting some movement in, riding my bike during lunchtime, enjoyed that, working with the people I work with, especially clients. Not many people get to do that on a daily basis, and just really broadens your perspective on your own ability to operate throughout life, given the functional independence I have and many other people have. Having and communicating and staying in touch with the relationships I have in my life, especially ones where people are not presently in my life, and being in the geographical area, I'm very grateful for that. It's neat to continually stay in communication with people and in a lot of ways enhance relationships that way over time. Grateful for that I have the opportunity to work with somebody and other people, mentorship wise, that actually help building me, which leads me to become a better version of myself, which then leads me to be able to give out more value to others. And so throughout this gratefulness, I then didn't actually drift into sleep right away. I entered a stage where my thoughts kind of ceased to exist, and I was really just staring up at the roof of the tank. And there's always this same light based off this Oasis tank that I do at the float center. And this time around, because I've seen it many times, this light, it's a small circle dot. I think it has to kind of do with a little small light pollution, light pollution entering the tank somehow. Anyways, I was staring at it, and all of a sudden it just started moving on me. And then from there, other shapes entered the picture. Kind of this similar purple haze that I've seen, which reminds me of a lot of, if I had to kind of describe the shapes, they're shapes you would see in like a diagram or some type of visual relating to the brain, where you have all these different neurons or brain waves. So it kind of reminded me of, and then it was like a purple color. And then all of a sudden it kind of became like this small hole of a window I was viewing from, of a shape or a person appearing. It seemed like it was a guy singing or something like that. And I think it kind of shows you what I saw is what your brain's capable of when you have no stimulus around it, and how it can go about painting pictures in your head that you're interpreting that don't really necessarily exist, but you're seeing it. And I really like that feeling. I want to say that's not my Uber, so I will not. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But that's the two biggest components, and then I faded in and out of sleeping twice, actually. The first time I woke up, and I then had more of a focus on my body and just moving around very gently, and it seemed like my hearing was enhanced to where I could hear like the cracking or the popping of my body and such. And that was really a really neat phase to be in. Indeed. And then I went back to sleep, and then woke up, and the float wasn't over yet, but in a sense, my internal body clock now from floating so much made me realize that I'm fairly used to knowing when my float's up. So in this case, I feel like I went like an extra hour. I think I went like 90 minutes, even though I had it was supposed to be 60 minutes. So I think I went another 30 minutes, which is really cool. But yeah, woke up after my second time sleeping, and I just entered, and I knew like, wow, I probably have only a couple more minutes left, because it feels like it's time to get up. And on that note, I definitely feel very energized from it, and I'm very, very grateful that I had another tremendously beneficial and valuable float experience. So right now, I'm just waiting for my Uber to take me back to actually work, to pick up my bike. Because it was raining, I couldn't ride my bike to the meeting I had with my mentor. So I'm gonna do a nightly bike ride back and enjoy that. So more things to come, and to be expressed, and to be shot. Gas time, DailyXander chatting. Can't even tell. You can see the gas pumps in the background. Oh yeah. Bada bing, bada boom.